Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look at a few more documents today to help us answer our key questions. And you know, when we started our research on the Black Death, there were 4 key questions that we wanted to answer. Read number 1 for me, Jenna.
What is the Black Death?
Good. Good. What is the Black Death? What was the Black Death? Colin, will you read the second one? Right. Either way, on your paper or up here.
What caused the disease to spread?
Good. Ava, will you read the third one?
What false beliefs did people in that time have about the disease?
Good. False beliefs. What false beliefs did they have? And number 4, Preston, will you read that one for us?
How has modern science taught us more about the Black Death?
Good. So remember, as we're going through these stations, those are the key questions that we want to focus on. I also want you to think of this. What are primary sources? What are primary sources? Yeah.
A primary source is basically an original document or something that was from that time. That you're
Good.
speaking of.
Good. It came from that time period. So then what would be an example of a secondary source? Ian?
Something that just came out after that time period.
Good. It came out after that time period. Like, do you have any examples of something that it might be, Lily? A textbook is a great example of a secondary source. Any other ideas? Jenna?
Like a picture?
A picture, yes, that could be. It might show a pyramid. Okay? So that would be a secondary source that would tell us more about the pyramids. Good. What else? A biography. Good. Somebody writing about a specific person or events that happened. What else, Devin?
A newspaper article.
Good. A newspaper article. The key is that it's something that came out later. Toby? A documentary. Very good. And what else?
Explaining a descendant of one of those places that caused it and finding out what caused the disease.
Good. Maybe a descendant of somebody from back then. And I know you suggested a descendant of the fleas, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so good. So secondary is something that happened after. Primary is something that comes directly from that time period. So as we're doing our stations today, I want you first of all, look at your document. I want you to decide if you think that it's primary or secondary. And then I want you to read over it together and answer the questions and add it to your sheet. Okay? Make sure you are adding information to the correct rectangle. Are there any questions? All right, let's get started. Go.
I think it's a secondary source because there wasn't like any like internet or Google at the time.
So what is this that you have for your evidence here?
What's it called? A charting of the population before the plague infected people and then after the plague.
Okay, good. All right, so for this one, I would probably kind of talk about what you see, what the chart and the numbers tell you, and then see if you can answer those questions, okay?
Okay.
And then those who had died neither Professor or nor other side folks. The many had died with no one looking after them. At every church, or most of them, they dug deep trenches down in the waterline, wide in their backs in the night, which they died and threw them into the ditch. Or they also paid a high price to those who would do it for them. The next morning, if there were many bodies in a trench, they covered those and covered them with dirt, and placed more bodies on top of them. With a little more dirt, those they put on a layer, just like the ones put on a layer of cheese on lasagna. I want lasagna now.
All right, so what is your document? Do you think it's primary or secondary?
I think it's secondary
I think it's pretty
because it's like an article from.
But it was established in 1378 here. It says the French by Marquis de Corpus Stefani.
Okay, so what does it tell you?
It tells us about the physicians and how they sectioned the bodies.
And how they checked like the people before they came into the house before we just did.
Interesting. Well, talk about it together. I want you to see if you can answer those questions. And don't forget, there's a second sheet under there with some other information, some illustrations from the time period.
I would not want.
Yes, Ring Around the Rosie.
I would not want that guy to. Yeah,
So, what is your document? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. What is it though? What kind of document?
It's like an article.
And what's it telling about?
It's like how the plague started and like.
So which of your questions, the key questions, do you think you're going to get the most information for? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
Probably number 2.
Maybe number 2? Okay, good. We'll keep going. Make sure you read over it together and that you answer the questions in your box.
Description of the plague with the introduction to the Cambrian. The book was written by Giovanni
All right, so tell me about your document that you're analyzing.
Another false belief was that that they thought all religions started it or whatever, and they executed thousands. And then they believed that how it started in Europe was because like the Tartars or whatever, they held dead people into the city too.
Was there any particular religious group that they really seemed to blame? The Jews. Interesting. Why do you think they blame them?
Because they were like the lower religion at the time, maybe.
What were most people during this time that we've studied? Christians. So that's different. Good. Good. Well, I want you. So which question do you think of our key questions? This one's probably going to give you the most information for. 3? Do y'all agree with that?
I think 4 probably, because it also talks down here about like the modern technology.
Okay, so it may give you quite a bit of information for both. Good. All right, well, keep going, keep discussing. Make sure you can answer those questions. All right, so tell me about your document and the questions that you're answering.
We said it was secondary source.
Okay, so what is it? What is your document?
It's translation.
Yeah, it said it was a translation by Richard.
And it was adapted. That's one of the keywords that we used to find out.
Oh, good. So what does adapted mean?
Kind of like it came from the translation.
Okay, good. So it came from the, so this is kind of, so tell me if you had to put it in your own words. This is it the actual original document? No, but it came from that, right?
Yeah.
Good. So what does it tell you?
It tells us like some of the symptoms and what happened and how like the spots spread all over their body.
Okay, so which question do you think you're gonna be able to answer the most from the document at this station? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Which one?
I think
What was the Black Death?
What was it? Okay, good, good. All right, well, I'm gonna let y'all keep working. Make sure that you talk about it and that you answer those questions at the bottom, okay? Use your document for evidence. All right, listen carefully, please. Thank you to those groups who are listening for directions. I need you to put your documents neatly back in the folder. And I'm going to describe to you where you're moving next. So listen carefully. Hannah, your group is going straight back. Gabby, you all are going straight back. Sierra, you all are coming over. And you all are going up to Jenna's station. Okay? Preston, your group goes over. Kaylee H, your group comes back. Lily, your group goes up there. And Katie, your group comes all the way over to Colin. All right, let's quickly rotate. Again, make sure you read your document, decide if it's primary or secondary, and read through it together. Discuss the questions. And go.
How many guys
So I guess this is a secondary source because in the mountain died and they were all dying at the time.
what happened to people? I guess the pre-population is right here, and the population afterwards once they all died. So like the pre and post.
Comes down all the way to 1500.
So, tell me about the document that you have over here. What is that?
It's like a chart.
A chart. And what does it tell you? What does this chart show or describe?
Like how many people died in each year.
Population.
And the population, is it just for the years of the plague? No, what other years does it show?
All of it?
I'm sorry, I can hear you.
All of it.
All. So when you say all of it, are you talking about?
Like 1000 to 1500.
Okay, so it kind of shows a range of time, right? So just looking, what do you notice about how the numbers change?
At first they started to decline and then incline.
Or increased maybe? Good, okay. So, how big a drop was there around the years of the Black Death? A big drop? So are these numbers in like the thousands, the 10,000s, and the millions? So how many people, what was the population in the year 1300? 79 million. What about 1345?
83 million.
Okay. So is that an increase or a decrease?
Increase.
Good. Now what about, Guillermo, what about in 1400? 60 million. So we went from how many to 60?
83 million to 60 million.
So what is that difference? 83 to 60.
23 million difference.
23 million. That's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. Well, I want you to keep looking because this chart, these charts tell you a ton of information. I want you to really look at the top chart too, because that's going to show some very specific areas, and I want you to talk about how their numbers changed over time too. Okay, so a lot actually to talk about, even though it doesn't look like you have a lot of reading to do for this one. Okay.
Okay, I need to find out who did this.
person was affected their life as expectancy was 1 or 2 days. One of the most striking descriptions of the plague is in the introduction to the
Cameron.
The book was written by Giovanni Boccaccio of Florence. It tells the story of 7 men and 3 women who flee to a villa outside the city where they are able to survive.
So the Decameron, would that be a primary or a secondary source?
Secondary.
Okay, so tell me again about a secondary source.
It's from something after that.
It's not original.
It's not from that original time period. So what about that book? When was that book written?
After.
Yes, but what is it describing? Right, so he's actually describing as somebody who lived through it. Okay? He's telling what happened during that time period. So, that one's actually a primary source. Yeah, because he's telling about the things and the things that he saw and others saw. So the Decameron is going to be one of our primary sources. But sometimes that can be confusing because you're thinking it was a little bit after and things like that. But what he described in there is kind of firsthand experience. Okay? All right, so keep going. There's a lot of good information in there.
Okay, task. Sorry, there you go.
Wait, were there questions?
So what is this document telling you about? Which one?
Symptoms.
Yes. So, huh?
How it would spread.
How it would spread. Good. Which question is that going to be answering mainly?
What caused the disease to spread?
Good question too. So what new information were you able to pull out of this document that you didn't already have some background information about?
That the Dapper Man adapted from a translation by Richard Hooker.
Okay.
So that it was rewritten by this guy.
Okay. So he took the information and kind of rewrote it. Okay,
Put it in
good.
his own words.
So is that primary or secondary?
It's secondary.
Secondary, but he took it from what kind of source? A primary. Good. Good. All right, well, keep working. All right, so tell me about your document that you have here.
I can't find any of the answers. It's primary.
Okay. Let me get this. I'll be right back. Maybe. All right, I need you to stop. I need you to stop. Go ahead and return your documents to the folder. Now remember this group, y'all go up, yeah, and y'all come back and over. You all go over, back. Ava, you come all the way to this front table and go. Keep going, nice transition. Remember, look at your document. Decide if it's primary or secondary. Read over it together.
Yeah, okay, primary or
No.
one brother who died had earlier. I'm taking off this nail polish. One theory is that it in Edo, 17 million people, and there's 12.5 million people, and they only had a 26% population decline.
Yeah, that was like.
When Italy had 10 million, and they had another 7 million, and they had a 30% decline.
So like those places were smaller.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So what are you noticing, especially with that top term? That what? I just didn't hear what you said.
Rather than in Scotland.
So which country does it look like was affected the least?
Well, with the percentages, it looks like, yeah, Scotland.
Scotland.
Because only 500,000 people died instead of 17 million.
And which country looks like it was affected the most? The Holy Roman Empire.
Wait, I think we're looking at it kind of wrong because it says pre-plague population and then post-plague population. So it's like their population before the plague and then after.
Population after the plague.
Yeah.
So out of, so in Scotland, only 100,000 people lived. And in the Holy Roman Empire, 4.5 million. And out of all, 53.2 million was the pre-plague, and then 37 oh my god, everything.
Do you know how many people? Just 1 million people? I mean, that's a lot. So, how many did it say died from it? Or it went from
37.
37. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
On the news, it said that the U.S. has 7 billion people, so that wouldn't be that much of the U.S. if all the countries.
For today's numbers. Right. But I think, too, if you look at, like, the percentage of change, too, that shows you,
The highest percentage was in England and Wales. Just 32. Or no, it was Belgium, which was 33%.
France had 37%. Yeah, France is 37%.
Oh, never mind. It's France.
So basically,
It was spread by rats and they said it was part of the Mediterranean.
yeah, it started in the eastern part of the Mediterranean, also shipping. I already wrote my answer, guys. And reaching Italy in the spring of 1348. So basically, it reached around this time of the year. In the time of the epidemic was evading in 1350, between 20 to 50% of people.
Wow.
What was your wow?
25 to 50% of the population died.
Half. Can you imagine, like,
That's a lot of dip. That's a lot of funerals.
the smell, which makes sense with the, what was the song?
Sing around the rosy.
Right.
And Posey's like just have the smell and then ashes, we all fall down, which means they all die.
Yes.
I didn't think that song was like meant to something, but my brother told me.
Yes. Most people don't realize that's what it's about.
Yeah,
older
older brother
brothers,
like
so
second grade, and I got freaked out for the next week. Honestly,
Well, keep going. Y'all are doing a great job. Oh,